Congratulations, Chief Select. I know that you wish your wife Christy, Isaac, Ivan, and Savannah were here. I also know you wish your parents Tim and Mary were here. This is a very special moment. I especially want to bring up your dad. I know he's probably dreaming about you where he lives right now, and so proud to be your father. There's a lot of Navy traditions in the uniform that you're about ready to wear. There's also a lot of tradition in the meaning of being a Chief Petty Officer. Most of these traditions you have learned about and discussed with the Chief's quarters these past few weeks. The most important part is the reliance on experience. While book knowledge, theory is good, it is experience that often saves a day or makes the right decision. Like the chief firefighter who knows a building's about to collapse just by his instinct and gets his guys out, so does a chief petty officer always seem to know what the right thing is to do and does it just at the right time. Last night I shared a story with you about a couple chiefs who saved the career of a Navy sailor, a sailor that probably wasn't going to make it, but they took the time and stuck with him and made sure that he was on the right path so that he was a successful person and a sailor. I hope you never forget where you came from, because sailors forevermore will look up to you for that experience. I charge you with doing the right thing when those sailors do look up to you, and even when they don't, because that is when they need you the most. Congratulations, Chief Select.
Under reference A, you are hereby authorized to assume the title and wear the uniform of Chief Petty Officer, effective immediately. Your appointment carries with you the obligation that you exercise increased authority and willing to accept greater responsibility. Occupying now a position of greater authority, you must strive with renewed dedication towards a valued ideal of service with honor. Under reference A, you will not be entitled to pay another monetary allowance of a Chief Petty Officer until actually advancing to the pay grade which you have been selected. Signed, B.L. Tothro, Commanding Officer, USS Buffalo. Chief Petty Officers, attention to the Chief Petty Officer's Creed.
During the course of this day, you have been caused to humbly accept challenge and face adversity. This you have accomplished with rare and good grace. Pointless as some of these challenges may have seemed, there were valid, time-honored reasons behind each pointed mark.
It was necessary to meet these hurdles with blind faith in the fellowship of Chief Petty Officers. The goal was to instill in you that trust is inherent with donning the uniform of a chief.
It was our intent to impress upon you that challenge is good, a great and necessary reality which cannot mar you, which in fact strengthens you. In your future as Chief Petty Officer, you will be forced to endure adversity far beyond that imposed upon you today.
You must face each challenge and adversity with the same dignity and good grace you demonstrated today. By experience, by performance, and by testing, you have been this day advanced to Chief Petty Officer.
In the United States Navy, and only in the United States Navy, the rank of E7 carries with it unique responsibilities and privileges you are now bound to observe and expected to fulfill.
Your entire way of life is now changed. More will be expected of you. More will be demanded of you. Not because you are an E7, but because you are now a Chief Petty Officer.
You have not merely been promoted one pay grade. You have joined an exclusive fellowship, and, as in any fellowships, you have a special responsibility to your comrades, even as they have a special responsibility to you.
That is why we in the United States Navy maintain with pride our feelings of accomplishment once we have attained the position of Chief Petty Officer. Your new responsibilities and privileges do not appear in print. They have no official standing. They cannot be referred to by name, number, or file.
They have existed for over 100 years. Chiefs before you have freely accepted responsibility beyond the call of printed assignment. Their actions and their performance demand and respect of their seniors as well as their juniors.
It is now required that you be the fountain of wisdom, the ambassador of goodwill, the authority personal or in impersonal relations as well as in technical application. Ask the chief is a household phrase in and out of the Navy.
You are now the chief. The exalted position you have now achieved, and the word exalted is used advisedly, exists because of the attitude and performance of the chiefs before you. It shall exist only as long as you and your fellow chiefs maintain these standards.
It was our intention that you never forget this day. It was our intention to test you, to try you, and to accept you. Your performance has assured us that you'll wear the hats with the same pride as your comrades in arms before you.
We take a deep and sincere pleasure in clasping your hands and accepting you as Chief Petty Officer of the United States Navy.
I am a Chief Petty Officer of the United States Navy. I serve my country and her people with pride and honor. I seek no special favors. I am charged with a leadership role like no other in the world. I make things happen and do the best I can do. I develop junior officers and mold my sailors. I acknowledge full responsibility for actions of my sailors. Because these sailors are the seeds of future Chief Petty Officers, I live by the Navy's core values of honor, courage, and commitment. I set the example. I establish the standards of performance. My sailors are students and I am their teacher. I guide and influence the lives of these young men and women. In the final analysis, I will determine the quality of these sailors. They look up to me because I treat them with dignity and respect, because they need a leader. I am there for them. After all, I am a Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy.
I have the pleasure to introduce Machinist Mate, Chief Petty Officer Matthew Weinzapfel. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Thank everybody for their support. You guys fucking piece of shit, man. I appreciate it. This means a lot to me. I think you guys know that. Thanks for coming.